In our last lesson, we learned a simple structure for writing a formal letter. Today, we're going to be applying that structure to a real exam question. This question is from the January 2024 paper 2. Before writing, we must understand the question. What is the purpose of the letter? Who are we writing to? And what information must we include? Okay, let's read through the question carefully and see if we can locate some of those vital pieces of information that we need to complete the task. Your French club of 25 students at St. Xavier's Secondary School is planning an excursion to the French island of Martinique over the period August 15 to 20, 2024. You need information on the following: flights by the airline AirPlus for that period, the cost of flight per student, whether group discounts will be offered, and information on reasonable hotel accommodation in Martinique. The information is required by 1st July 2024 in order to adequately plan for the trip. As president of the French Club, write a letter of inquiry to Miss Sanya Pearl, reservations manager at True Blue Travel Agency in your country, requesting the information given above. So what have we learned? It tells us that it's the French Club of 25 students at St. Xavier's Secondary School, and they're planning a trip to Martinique. We need information about flights, cost per student, whether there are any group discounts, and reasonable hotel accommodation. We also know that the information is needed by July 1, 2024. And the person we're writing to is a Miss Sanya Pearl, and we know her position. It's reservation manager at the True Blue Travel Agency. So what exactly is our task? We are writing a letter of inquiry. We know that it must be done using a formal tone. That means we're asking for the information in a polite and official way. We also have to use continuous prose, which means proper paragraphs, no bullet points or note forms. And of course, we must include all the details that the question asks for. Before you start to write, you need to extract all the key details from the question. This will make it much easier for you to organize the letter. So you need to know who is writing. In this case, it's the president of the French Club. You need to know who the letter is going to, what information is needed, and when the information is required by. These details we've got here, you can see them on the slide. And what we're going to do now is to plug them into that structure that we've looked at earlier. Remember this structure, guys, from last video? You need to commit it to memory so that you're able to retrieve it in the exam. Now we're going to fill in the structure step by step with the information that we were given in the exam question. We begin with the writer's address and the date. Since the question says that we are the president of the French Club at St. Xavier's Secondary School, we can use the school address. In your exam, if the full address is not given, you can use any reasonable address that's linked to your school or your community, for example. Next comes the date. Since the information is needed by 1st of July 2024, our letter should be dated before that. So a date such as the 20th of June 2024 is a sensible choice. Now we're ready to write the addressee's details. And we have been given all of the information in the question. So all you need to do is to pretty much lift it up and plug it into your letter. So what's her name? She's Miss Sanya Pearl. Her position is reservations manager. And we also have her address, which is the work address. All I've done is to add a little bit more details like the name of the road. So this is pretty straightforward. It's all about formatting here. Next comes the greeting. And since we know her name, we have added that, Dear Miss Pearl. After that, you can add a subject line, which as we've mentioned before, is optional. But this can be helpful because it tells the reader clearly what the letter is about. I want you to notice that the subject is short. It is very specific and it's directly linked to the task. Now we've come to the body of our letter, and the first part is the introduction. Here we are going to simply state the purpose of the letter clearly. So the trip will be briefly mentioned, but we're not going to give any extensive details about it in the introduction. So what is the purpose of the letter? It is to request information about the planned trip. How about this for an introduction? I am writing on behalf of the French Club at St. Xavier's Secondary School to request information regarding a planned excursion to Martinique. This is a strong introduction because it tells us who is writing, what group they represent, and why they are writing. It also goes straight to the point. In the first body paragraph, we will begin to give the important details from the task. Now, I find it super helpful to organize my paragraphs by grouping related points together. So for this paragraph, I'm going to be including the number of students, the date of travel, and request for flight details. The club consists of 25 students and we are planning to travel from 15th of August to 20th of August 2024. I would therefore appreciate information on flights offered by AirPlus for those dates. Now what I've done here is to use the factual information from the question and turned it into smooth formal sentences. I am not copying the bullet points exactly. I am shaping them into what CSEC requires, continuous prose. Now we're moving to the next set of details. This paragraph should include the rest of the information that we need, the cost per student, whether group discounts are available, and information about reasonable hotel accommodation. So here's our completed body paragraph 2. In it, we've included all the remaining information. I want you to notice how the linking phrase in addition helps the writing to flow naturally from the previous paragraph. In addition, I would be grateful if you could provide the cost of flight per student and indicate whether any group discounts would be available for a party of this size. I would also appreciate information on reasonably priced hotel accommodation in Martinique that would be suitable for students. We're now on our final paragraph, which is the conclusion. The conclusion should tell the reader what you want to happen next. In this question, one of the details that we haven't yet put in but was mentioned is that the information was needed by the 1st of July 2024. I think that this belongs in the conclusion because it gives urgency and shows why a prompt reply is necessary. So what should we include in the conclusion? We should mention the deadline. We should request a response. And finally, we should end politely. As this information is needed by the 1st of July 2024 in order to finalize our plans, I would appreciate a response at your earliest convenience. Now, I think this is a good conclusion because it is polite, it is purposeful, and it is clear. It also does not introduce anything new. It just simply reminds the reader of a deadline and asks for a response. Now we're at the end of our letter. We use yours sincerely as our polite ending. We include a signature, the writer's name, the writer's position, and this is important because we are writing as president of the French Club. Here we can see the full answer put together. Notice that every part of the letter has come directly from the structure and from the details in the question. If you found this video helpful, you can subscribe for more English lessons, as I'll be doing more step-by-step CSEC writing walkthroughs. And please do me a favor, like and share this video with your friends.